The day of judgment is going to come, you see. And that day of judgment, when we shall appear before the judgment seat of Christ as saints, not the white throne of judgment for the whole world at the end of the world, no. Now this is rapture. We have been raptured and the world is still continuing. As believers, we appear before the judgment seat of Christ. That day is the rapture. You see, he says, our love has been made perfect that we may have boldness in the day of judgment before the judgment seat of Christ, which is not the condemnation seat of Christ, but it's the judgment seat of Christ. Why? Because it's where Christ will give rewards to his saints. He will rebuke his saints, but love on them. Love on them. Rebuke them, but love on them. Very clear in the scriptures. That we may have boldness in the day of judgment, because as it is, so are we in this world. Now, ladies and gentlemen, appearing with Jesus means we are going to come before the judgment seat of Christ with boldness. Some of us are going to be, our works are going to be exposed, you see, by fire. And people are going to have rebuke from the Lord. You see that? Our works are going to be taken through fire. You see? Let me just show you that so that we may be on the same page in Jesus' mighty name. Every man's work shall be made manifest, for the day shall declare it. Because it shall be revealed by fire, and the fire shall try every man's work of what sort it is. If any man's work abide, which he has built thereupon, he shall receive a reward. If any man's work shall be burnt, he shall suffer loss. You see that? He shall suffer loss, but he himself shall be saved, yet as by fire. If a man's work is burnt by fire before the judgment seat of Christ, they are talking about saints only, not the white throne of judgment for the whole world at the great judgment day. No. After rapture, the day of judgment, you see, all our works are going to be taken through fire, you see, before the Lord Jesus Christ. The fire from his eyes. Revelation 1 talks about his eyes as blazing fire. So that means we are going to be tested by our works before the judgment seat of Christ after we are raptured. Now I want you to understand this. Because you are not saved by works. Christ did not first wait for you to be righteous to save you. He did not first wait for you to cast out demons, help the poor, for you to be saved. No. While we are yet sinners, Romans 5 and verse 8, Christ died for us. And he saved us. You see that? And we are saved. Ephesians chapter number 2 and verse 9. We are saved not by works, but by the gift of God. And that gift is faith for salvation. Lest any man should boast in heaven and say, well, it's my works that have brought me here. It's my works that have qualified me for heaven. No. So he says, 1 Corinthians chapter 3, and this is verse 15. If a man's work shall be burnt, he shall suffer loss, but himself shall be saved, yet as by fire. So it's very possible that many believers, their works are going to expose them before the Lord, but they're in heaven. Their works were built not on truth, the foundation with Jesus Christ, you see. They were built on lies, built on many things, malice. So their works are going to be destroyed. But because they appear with Jesus as sons of God, they're in heaven, they are not going to receive a reward. He says, he shall suffer loss, but himself shall be saved. This is 1 Corinthians 3 and verse 15. He shall suffer loss, yet himself shall be saved. So, ladies and gentlemen, that explains what I'm trying to talk about in 1 John chapter 4 and verse 17. Herein is our love made perfect, that we may have boldness in the day of judgment. God's love for you to be saved is perfect. God's love for you to be his son is perfect. That love in 1 John 3, he has bestowed upon us to be called sons of God, and verse 1 is perfect. Our love has been made perfect. You see? So we are saved by grace. We are loved by God perfectly. And we will stand with boldness before the day of judgment. And our works, some of us are going to go through fire and they will be burnt because they were not built on truth, not built in love. You see? But the saint shall be saved. He says, 1 John 4 verse 17 says, because as he is, so are we in this world, not in heaven. So in this world of sin, we are as Jesus is. Our spirits are as Jesus is. We are going to stand in boldness before the day of judgment because we are sons of God. And because that's what God has made us, not ourselves, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this is very important. Verse 18 says, there is no fear in love, but perfect love casts out fear, because fear has torment. He that fear is not made perfect in love. There is no fear in love, but perfect love casts out fear, because fear has torment. So, the love of God made us children of God. That was bestowed upon us, 1 John 3 and verse 1. That was made perfect, 1 John 4 verse 17. That we are children of God perfectly, not by our works, but by his love made perfect. Casts out all fear. He says, verse number 19, we love him because he first loved us. Appearing with Jesus means we are as Jesus is in this world. 1 John 4:17. As he is, so are we in this world. We are as Jesus is in this world. Why? Because we love him. Because he first loved us. So his love has fetched us out of false identity of sinners to the identity of the child of the Son of God. And that's what we are. And he has said, beloved, we are now sons of God. 1 John 3 verse 2. We are now sons of God in this world. Though it does not appear what we shall be, but we know that when he appears, we shall be like him. We shall see him as he is. But he has also said, ladies and gentlemen, as he is, so are we. So it's not future tense to be as Jesus. No, it is present tense. Future tense is the revelation of Christ when he shall appear in his physical, spiritual body. In physical, spiritual body. I hope you understand me on that.